What's up, everyone? So this is a follow-up video. I made a video earlier talking about the Warriors tying up the series, but now this is a video just to look at how the Celtics blew this game. So live ball turnovers burned the Celtics. This was the final start. This article is by John Schneeman, and it's from the NBA site. So let's just get into it. So the Golden State Warriors have responded after blowing a 15-point second half lead to the Boston Celtics in Game 1 in the finals. In Game 1, the West champs kept their foot on the gas at halftime until the cushion reached 29 points, and they cruised to a 107-88 victory today morning. That's Sunday where they are, but for me where I am, it's in the morning. So Monday morning. So Steph Curry led 29 points. Jordan Poole had a rough Game 1. In this game, he scored 17 points, 5 of 9 from the three, coming off the bench. Though the Golden State Warriors each of the first two quarters was just a 2-point game at halftime, but in the second half, that's where it all went downhill for the Boston Celtics, man. So on points, you can see Golden State Warriors 107, Boston Celtics 88. In possessions, you can see the Boston Celtics had one more possession. The Warriors are just one possession shy from tying it. Offensive rating, the Golden State Warriors led it 110, and the Boston Celtics 89.8. But effective field goal percentage, the Warriors shot pretty well, 54%, and the worst stat that they led in for the for the Boston Celtics was turnovers, man, especially live ball turnovers. Turnovers per 100 possessions, you could see the Boston Celtics had 19.4%, and I mean offensive rebounds obtained. They tied it. They almost tied it with the Warriors, but it was a close knit thing. But man, the turnovers, especially live ball turnovers, the Celtics committed were atrocious, and actually that's what was the thing that went around, especially after the game, because the way the Boston Celtics were being forced by the Warriors to take tough shots, especially Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown. I mean, it was crazy. So the whole context on this is, as per the article, that was their third highest total of the season in 102 games. The Celtics committed 16 live ball turnovers, recorded as steals for the opponents in an October loss to Toronto, 19 live ball turnovers, the loss in Miami in Game 3 of the conference finals. It also tied to the most live ball turnovers that the Warriors had forced this season. So this stat, they had 15 live ball turnovers, so that's actually pretty bad. The Celtics had 19 turnovers total, with 79% of them being the live ball variety. The league average of live ball percentage is just 55%, and prior to Game 2, the Celtics were a tick below the mark, so they just couldn't protect the rock in Game 2, and it was evident by the way they just turned over the ball. So this stat was pretty interesting, because when you look at the way the Boston Celtics play, they have never looked that bad. You can have a star player like a Jason Tatum, having a negative plus minus or minus 36. I've never seen JT look that bad in all season long. So of course, live ball turnovers are much more damaging than dead ball turnovers. When the Celtics committed those 15 miscues on Sunday, the Warriors scored 22 points, 1.47 p per possession on their 3 possessions, with 20 of the 22 coming off directly from the turnovers that the Celtics are committing. So Jason Tatum committed 4 of the live ball turnovers, Marcus Smart 3, and 3 for the other Celtics. Jalen Brown, Al Horford, Derek Wright, each committed 2. I mean, it was just a bad sight to see, man. Indeed, the Celtics are 1 of 5 when they've committed more than 15 turnovers, with including 0 for 4 since the start of the conference finals, and 12 of 2 with the 7 straight wins. They have committed 15 or fewer. So this is not a common thing that the Celtics have gone through. They were held to 88 points by the Warriors, and I mean, especially the third quarter, man. They just couldn't get the rock pretty well. I mentioned earlier, both in the regular season, 14.0 and 13.8 per 100 possessions, and in the playoffs, 16.3 versus 13.6. The Celtics have actually had a higher turnover rate at home than they have had on the road. They were just 3-4 at the TD Garden over the last two rounds, and the series now heads to Game 3 and Game 4 to the TD Garden on Wednesday and Friday. So that's Thursday morning from where I am, and Saturday morning. That's Game 3. The Game 3 will be Thursday morning, and Game 4 Saturday morning. So I'll be tuned in to see. I just hope that they can be able to protect the Rock pretty well. These turnovers, they're not usual, they're not common for an elite team like the Celtics, but the Warriors, being elite themselves because they've been in the finals multiple times, 6 times in 8 years, so they are bound to at least force them to look bad, and also expect at least the Boston Celtics to try to win. So that's the whole situation, man. If you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments, what you think, and I'm out. Peace.